Hi, this is Delilah with Art by Delilah, and today I'm going to paint a whimsical rooster. I'm going to trace over so that you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I usually don't do that, but I think for these videos it makes it easier to begin to see what I'm doing. So hopefully you'll be able to see some of this. I'm using transparent red oxide to kind of sketch out my bird. Now I'm going to go and do the background, and he's going to be in the wild, so there'll be some sky and a little bit of landscape. Just lay in the base color first, and I will come back later. That brush is way too small. I need a bigger one. When you're laying in color, you might as well use a large brush and get it done as quickly as possible. I can bring the blue of the sky down quite a ways, because you can add some yellow or something to it, and all of a sudden you've got some nice greens. I will go back into that sky and add quite a bit of color to it. Colors besides blue. I don't want a happy little painting. I want something that's expressive. Because this is a fun guy. This is a fun little rooster. And to make him look fun, I need some colors. I'm going to stop painting for just a second and show you my palette over here. See my colors lined up, my brushes. Well, for some reason my camera stopped recording when I was doing this, and my advice was, that particular moment that it stopped, to use a limited palette. A limited palette really helps you develop your painting skills. And the better you get, then you can add more colors back in. Figure them out, control them. And if you've never done a color study, I highly recommend you do it. Where you take the colors on your palettes, and especially if you're doing a limited palette, and play with them, see what colors you can make. You'll be amazed at really how few colors you need. If you have a warm and a cool of each one of the primaries, you really can get a lot done. Okay, I got some background in there. Not quite the way I want it, but it's getting there. So, with that, I think I will start to work on the rooster. And I'm going to start with the top down. Work on his comb up here, and I'm going to paint it in with some Indian yellow. Yeah, it got in the sky. Makes a great green. I don't know what the chicken thinks about that though. He feels a little ill today. Okay, get down here. Okay, I'm going to go back, put some reds in there. Definitely right there where that green is. This is some cad orange. I'll go back and rework those a little bit, add some more colors. I'm going to do the beak next. Get a smaller brush. I think I'm going to start with an orange, and then I'm going to go in with the yellow. This is yellow ochre. And this is cad yellow light. Put the top of his beak, move it right into that comb up there. Now, as I mentioned before, this is going to be a whimsical rooster. So, he's not going to be realistic. And it's okay. It's okay to play around, to have some fun with it. I do that with a lot of my animals. I do it more in watercolor than in oils. And the reason I do it in watercolor is it gives me a break. I need a break from serious painting every now and then. Most people don't, but I do. I need to have some fun. Not that painting seriously isn't fun, but it can be stressful. You stress yourself out trying to get things perfect. Lightening up some of that area. Whenever you put white in, it makes it chalky, so I try not to use so much white. I think I'm going to change the comb a little bit. I've been stepped back and I kind of looked at it and I thought, I think I like the big floppy thing the way it's going forward. Gives him some character here. It's going to have big buggy eyes. Okay. Now I'm going to work on the head. Just putting some color in. Once I get the color in, then I'll go for more details. I saw some cool chickens out at the neighbors the other day, pecking around. It's like, oh, I wanted to stop and paint them. Would those people think I'm very strange if I stopped and painted their chickens? Definitely think I'd have to go in and ask permission. I usually don't have any problems if I stop and ask someone's permission to paint. I'm always very, very conscientious with other people's property. Even if I'm just along on the roadside, you know, the road right away, which legally you can be there. I always think it's just a good idea to ask permission before you do those kind of things. Now I have gone up to some really old barns where there was nobody around for miles. And so I didn't know whom I should be consulting on it and just went ahead. Now I'm going to work on his little eyes. Again, I need a smaller brush. I'll look through my brushes. I've got quite the collection. I think this Rooster here, he's a little worried. He's like, I haven't seen a bug in all day long. Where are my bugs? I have to learn the name of those little hanging down things. I always call them hanging down things. And I grew up on a farm and I still don't know the name of them. The next time I paint a chicken, I am going to have that down where I know the name of those things. Parts is parts, but they should have a name. It's got quite the headdress on. Just checking to make sure I'm still recording. I don't know what happened there the last time. All of a sudden it just stopped. Battery was fine, so I must have bumped it or something. Hard to say. Maybe next time I'll paint some little chicks. I haven't painted little chicks in a while. Actually, it's time to paint a turkey. Getting close to Thanksgiving. Turkeys are kind of fun to paint. There used to be some wild turkeys where I lived. They'd get up in the trees by the river. And oh my gosh, if they flew down out of those trees, you weren't expecting it, they make a terrible sound when they come out. I think you're being attacked by something. Same with sandhill cranes. I've been out painting before, and some of those will come out of the bush. And they're always making a sound when they come. The turkeys, it's just the sound of their wings that really makes a noise. Trying to ground my bird here so that he doesn't float in the air. I think I'll give him some grass. He's hungry. Give him some grass there. It's always good to give your animals some environment. Lost my paper towel. I wipe my brush as I'm painting with paper towels. Try not to use too much turp. If you do turp in it while you're painting, it goes down in the ferrule, and it also gives you muddy color. So I try to wipe them with paper towels, and I also change brushes frequently. When I change colors, I change brushes. Now, that's just my little quirk. I know some people need use like about 2 brushes, and that's all they use during the whole painting. And their work is lovely. So, no set rules. Just gotta figure it out on your own, what works for you. I've been trying to use more paint lately, not be stingy with my paint. That was a purple, a dark purple that I just put in there on the tail. Still working on the body there. Working on the tail feathers. Gonna bring the wing back a little more. Trying to keep that yellow ochre out of the sky. Don't need green tail feathers, but I have used green for tail feathers before, and it really does look pretty good. But this chicken's not going to have green tail feathers. He's staying in the orange-red family. Adding some blue, cobalt blue to my grass. Tipping it off there with some lemon yellow. Trying to get some thicker paint in there. Thicker paint will come forward in your foreground, so you should use it in your foreground and not your background for that reason, because you want your background to stay back, and if you keep it kind of thin back there, that'll help it. I'm going to give that bird a little bit of highlight on his eye. Just a tad there. A little more. try the end of this. I need to get a new rigger so I can sign these better. The best way to get better at painting is keep doing it every day if you can. If you can't paint, maybe draw, a sketch, something. Keep your hands in it. The more you do, the better you get. And actually painting the same subject will help you too. It'll help you work out the problems. Right now I've been doing a lot of figure drawing. I've got a model and I've been working with that, and man, I've got a long ways to go with my figure drawing. Well, this is Delilah with Art by Delilah, and thank you so much for watching this video.